Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Islands on alert. Tropical storm warnings in effect for the northern Bahamas. Abaco says they're not taking any chances with Milton. We've got all the details, what you need to know today. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. As we said, all morning we're going to be talking about Hurricane Milton and the impact it might have on the Bahamas. Tropical storm watches in effect for the northern islands. We'll break that down in just a bit. That's all ahead on this Wednesday. Let's begin with what's happening in the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, as Hurricane Milton moved towards Florida, Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Bahama were placed under a tropical storm warning, with Prime Minister Philip Davis urging residents on those islands to prepare for the likely impact of the storm. Chief Meteorologist Jeffrey Green saying at a press conference at the Disaster Risk Management Authority in New Providence last night that 4 to 6 inches of rain are expected through Friday in the northern Bahamas, with isolated amounts of up to 10 inches. Davis warned that the islands experience or expected to feel Milton's impact have had heavy rain already, and that the risk for extensive flooding is significant. The Prime Minister saying, quote, "These islands have already experienced excessive rainfall since Sunday from another storm system, and so the ground is already saturated with water." He said the heavy rainfall is also expected to begin today on New Providence, Andros, Berry Islands, and Eleuthera. He's urging residents on the likely impacted islands to prepare now. While the threat is not significant, not as significant as what Florida is likely to see, the Prime Minister is saying that we still need to take this seriously. He said, quote, "Tropical storms are nothing new for us. Year after year, we are told how we must prepare and ready ourselves and our homes to keep us all safe, but we know how quickly things can change. The storm in particular has intensified extremely rapidly, and so within the next 24 hours, it's important that you do all that you can to stay safe." Well, in addition to school closures already in effect on the islands under the tropical storm warning, the Prime Minister also announced the closure of all schools in New Providence, the Berry Islands, and Eleuthera until Friday. He said he's doing this because of the heavy flooding that's expected to result from the rain that we will see And, quote, "We do not want our young people having to navigate large areas of flooding while getting to and from school." The Ministry of Education previously announced the closure of schools in Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Key on Tuesday and Wednesday due to the projected adverse weather conditions from Hurricane Milton. The Department is also encouraging members of the public not to panic, but to take measures to ensure their safety. Well, Abaco residents are taking the threat seriously and have begun storm preparations. That's according to Administrator for the Central Abaco District, Kefianne Ferguson. She spoke with the Nassau Guardian after the northern Bahamas was placed under that tropical storm warning. She says that people are making the initial preparations, making sure that the basic food supplies and other necessities are in place. In other news, a judge reducing bail for a man accused of a double murder. Mark Augustine is accused of the November 2020 murders of Doreen Mortimer and Ricardo Roll. They were both found shot dead in a derelict car on Ida Street, New Providence. Augustine's bail was initially set at $20,000 in September 2024 due to delays in bringing the case to trial, but he remained behind bars because his family didn't have property to post for bail. He asked Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson to reduce the bond as a result. In her decision, Grant Thompson noted that Augustine's trial is scheduled for 2026. She said he had no previous convictions or pending matters, and due to the unreasonable delay in bringing the case to trial, Grant Thompson reduced the bail to $9,900 with two sureties. Augustine is required to surrender his travel documents, sign in at a police station, wear an ankle bracelet, keep a curfew, and avoid deliberate contact with prosecution witnesses. And a 71-year-old man is awaiting sentencing after he admitted to employing a foreigner to work on his fishing vessel. Stanley DeVoe pleaded guilty to prohibited commercial fishing by a non-Bahamian when he appeared before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson yesterday. The prosecutor telling the court that a Defense Force vessel was on patrol in Exuma Sound on September 30th, 2022, when they came across a red skiff. The men on the boat were found harvesting juvenile conch, and one of the men on board was a non-Bahamian. The prosecutor saying that DeVoe admitted to hiring a non-Bahamian when interviewed. DeVoe, who did not have a lawyer, asked the court for leniency since it was his first run-in with the law. He asked the judge to allow him to keep a clean record because he traveled to the United States for medical treatment. After prodding by the judge, DeVoe apologized for his actions. Given the circumstances, the prosecutor suggested that the court fine DeVoe $10,000 and place him on probation for 3 years. DeVoe said he couldn't afford to pay $10,000 at once and asked the judge to let him pay in installments. Grant Thompson will give her sentencing decision on October 23rd. DeVoe remains on bail until then. Overseas, back to Hurricane Milton. The storm churning Wednesday today towards a potentially catastrophic collision with the west coast of Florida, where some residents insisted that they would stay after millions were ordered to evacuate, and officials warned that stragglers would face grim odds of surviving. The Tampa Bay area, home to more than 3.3 million people, facing the possibility of widespread destruction after avoiding direct hits from major hurricanes for more than a century. The National Hurricane Center predicted Milton, a monstrous Category 5 hurricane again, during much of its approach, would likely weaken but remain a major hurricane when it makes landfall later today. Milton, just about 360 miles southwest of Tampa earlier this morning. We'll have the latest on that in just a bit, but forecasters are predicting the storm will retain hurricane strength as it crosses central Florida through most of Thursday on a path east towards the Atlantic Ocean. The hurricane's precise track remained uncertain as forecasters nudged its projected path slightly south of Tampa as of yesterday. Thousands of fleeing cars clogged Florida's highways ahead of the storm, but time for evacuations was running out. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor noting that up to 15 feet of storm surge forecast for her city would be deep enough to swallow an entire house. Milton targets communities still reeling 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene flooded streets and homes in western Florida, along its devastating march, it left at least 230 people dead across the South in the United States. A large-scale Israeli operation in northern Gaza has killed and wounded dozens of people and threatens to shut down 3 hospitals over a year into the war with Hamas. Palestinian officials and residents saying that heavy fighting is underway in Jabalia, where Israeli forces have carried out several major operations over the course of the war and then returned as militants regroup. The entire north, including Gaza City, has suffered heavy destruction and has been largely isolated by Israeli forces since late last year. The continuing cycle of destruction and death toll in Gaza, unleashed by Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack on southern Israel, comes as Israel expands a week-long ground offensive against Hezbollah in Lebanon and considers a major retaliatory strike on Iran. Residents in Jabalia, a refugee camp dating back to the 1948 war surrounding Israel's creation, they're saying thousands of people have been trapped in their homes since the operation began Sunday, as Israeli jets and drones buzz overhead, and troops buzz around them. And from Haiti, angry whispers have broken the heavy silence that fell over Pont Sunday just days after a vicious gang attack left more than 70 dead, marking one of Haiti's biggest massacres in recent history. The whispering coming from a handful of people that remained in the small town in central Haiti after Thursday's assault. They huddled by the roadside, stood under leafy trees, or milled around the lone cemetery, all of them blaming the government for the assault by the Grand Griffe gang, created after a former legislator armed young men nearly a decade ago to secure his election and control of the area. Many are questioning why authorities didn't do anything to stop the attack by Grand Griffe, considered one of Haiti's cruelest gangs. Pont Sunday was once a bustling community with a thriving marketplace located near the mighty Artibonite River, Haiti's longest. It's the same river that gang members used to their advantage the night of the attack, plying its rich brown waters with canoes as to not alert anyone of their presence. We're told babies were killed, other people, and entire families. Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic says it has deported or repatriated nearly 11,000 Haitians in the past week, fulfilling a pledge to do so weekly as neighboring Haiti scrambles to handle the influx while besieged by gang violence and poverty. The Dominican Republic announcing last week that it would deport up to 10,000 Haitians a week, seeing an excess of immigrants as relations between the countries that share the island of Hispaniola continue to sour. These are the largest such deportations in recent history, the announcement prompting Haitian officials to request an emergency meeting at the Organization of American States, where Haitian Permanent Representative Gandhi Thomas called for the deportations. He called the deportations a strategy of ethnic cleansing and discrimination against Haitians due to their nationality and color of their skin. Thomas calling for dialogue and a respectful solution, saying the deportations will worsen the fragility of the infrastructure, while the deportees will arrive with no support, no resources, and no ties to their community. Activists say the deportations put the lives of thousands at risk. A UN-backed mission led by the Kenyan police force that began earlier this year to try to quell gang violence is facing a lack of funds and personnel. It's time for sports, brought to you by the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup. Bahamian Yolette coach Yo McPhee-McEwen and the University of Mississippi Rebels women's basketball team are set to start their season with a lot of promise and optimism. For the first time in McEwen's 7-year tenure, they've cracked the top 20 and are primed to make a significant deep run in the NCAA Division I women's basketball tournament. The Rebels play in a tough Southeastern Conference in the SEC and open the season as number 20 in the way too early top 25 women's collegiate basketball rankings. You can read about the challenges and what will happen when they come to the Bahamas in today's Guardian Sports section. From Major League Baseball, the San Diego Padres beating the LA Dodgers 6-5. They've taken a 2-1 lead in the National League Division Series. And the New York Mets beating the Philadelphia Phillies 7-2. They, too, have taken a 2-1 lead in their National League Division Series. From the WNBA, the Minnesota Lynx are 3 wins from a 5th championship, chasing a league record with an entirely different core from the previous dynasty. Nafisa Collier, fully in charge of the group, she had 27 points on 10 for 16 shooting and 11 rebounds. Helped to get the Lynx past the Connecticut Sun 88-77 and into the WNBA Finals for the first time in 7 years. Last night, Collier, the WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, added 4 blocks in the vintage all-around performance. And from the NFL, Woody Johnson, sensing his struggling New York Jets needed change, so the owner made the stunning decision Tuesday to fire coach Robert Saleh just 5 games into his 4th season after the team's 2-3 start following a 23-17 loss to Minnesota in London on Sunday. Saleh was 20-36 as coach for the Jets, who were trying to snap the NFL's longest active playoff drought in 13 seasons. The move marks the first time in Johnson's 25-year tenure that a head coach had been fired during the season. At sports, brought to you by the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup, coming to Nassau, October 23rd through 28th at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. The stadium will be buzzing with excitement as 6 countries, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Curacao, the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, and the Bahamas will compete for the championship title. 17 thrilling games over 6 days. Don't miss it. The 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup, October 23rd through 28th. And it is time for your first look at weather for today. We've got a tropical storm warning in effect for the northern Bahamas. The northern Bahamas is Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini. Again, the tropical storm warning only for those islands. This is as a result of Major Hurricane Milton, forecast to pass west, north, and northeast of the Bahamas through Friday as it makes its way across central Florida. Residents in the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, Andros, Berry Islands, and Eleuthera, should continue to pay close attention to all further updates on Milton. A gale watch is in effect for the entire northern and northwest Bahamas. So here's what's happening. We've got rain bands associated with Major Hurricane Milton. They're going to produce bouts of unsettled weather across portions of the Bahamas through tonight. That's going to start today, this morning, and into tonight as the system moves closer to the western coast of central Florida. The rain bands will begin to affect the northern, northwest, and portions of the central Bahamas by midday through and then continue through Friday with heavy downpours likely. Residents can expect further flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. There is the potential for waterspouts and tornado activity. Severe weather conditions can be expected across the country. So, for today, for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, cloudy to occasionally overcast. Tropical storm conditions are possible tonight. You've got a 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, increasing to 40 to 60% by this afternoon. Wind south to southwest at 15 to 20 knots. Tropical storm conditions are possible tonight. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, Andros, Berry Islands, and Eleuthera, partly cloudy to cloudy, and again, tropical storm conditions expected tonight. A 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, increasing to 40 to 60% by this afternoon. For the central and southeast Bahamas, variably cloudy, only about a 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, but increasing to 30 to 40% tonight for the central Bahamas. Temperature-wise, today we're looking at highs for the northern and northwest Bahamas in the low 80s, low to mid 80s. Lows tonight getting down about 73 Fahrenheit. For the central and southeast Bahamas, a bit warmer, 89 Fahrenheit. For your highs, 20, well, that's about 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 76 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have more on Milton and your extended outlook coming up in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new
It is time for a break. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
The future of driving is here, and it's electric. Welcome to EV City, Easy Car Sales' new home for electric vehicles. Whether you want an affordable model or a luxury ride, EV City has the perfect electric car for you. Don't just take our word for it. Come test drive the power, the smoothness, and the savings. You'll love electric after just one ride. Cut your driving costs in half and say goodbye to gas stations for good. Visit EV City on the highway through the Solomon Service Road and drive to the future today.
We wish you a new car to drive, a new home for a growing family, the trip of a lifetime. Start now, CIBC Caribbean, for everything you're dreaming of this holiday season. Apply for a loan online at CIBCFCIB.com. Conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. You can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, and Chester Robots are going to be off today, and we're here on as we are on alert for Milton, the tropical storm warnings for the northern Bahamas. Again, no reason to panic. We're not expecting a direct impact here, but we will be on the southern side of the system once it moves over Florida. But tropical storm conditions expected for the northern Bahamas. And so here's the very latest on what the Department of Meteorology is saying about the storm. So a tropical storm warning is in effect for the northern Bahamas only. Rain bands associated with major Hurricane Milton will produce bouts of unsettled weather across portions of the Bahamas through tonight as this tropical system races closer to the western coast of Florida. Rain bands from Milton will begin to affect the northern, northwest, and portions of the central Bahamas this afternoon through Friday, and heavy downpours will be likely. Residents can expect further flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. There's also the potential for waterspouts and tornado activity. Severe weather conditions can be expected across the country. All right, so here is the latest on Milton. As of 5 o'clock this morning, as we mentioned, the tropical storm warnings are in effect for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, the Abacos, and Bimini. The eye of Hurricane Milton, located near latitude 24.3 degrees north and longitude 85.5 degrees west, or about 300 miles southwest of Tampa, or 390 miles west-southwest of Alistown, Bimini. That puts it 435 miles west-southwest of Freeport, or 535 miles west-southwest of Marsh Harbor. That's 500 miles west of New Providence. So Milton is moving towards the northeast near 14 miles per hour. A northeast motion with some increase in forward speed is expected through tonight, and a turn towards the east-northeast and east is expected on Thursday and Friday. On the forecast track, the center of Milton will move across the eastern Gulf of Mexico today, make landfall along the west-central coast of Florida late tonight or early Thursday morning, and then move off the east coast of Florida over the Atlantic Ocean Thursday afternoon. Right now, maximum sustained winds are near 160 miles per hour with higher gusts, and Milton is, again, a Category 5 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Milton is expected to remain an extremely dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west-central coast of Florida. Hurricane-force winds extend outward up to 30 miles from the center, and tropical storm-force winds extend outward up to 125 miles from the center. Rain bands associated with Hurricane Milton will begin to spiral across the northern and north Bahamas by late this afternoon, and residents in Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, including all surrounding keys, are urged to continue preparations for tropical storm conditions that will begin by tonight. Tropical storm conditions include winds in excess of 40 miles per hour, heavy rainfall, and thunderstorms with tornado activity. Severe flooding is anticipated in low-lying and flood-prone areas. Residents in or near flood-prone areas are urged to take extra precautions while maneuvering in those areas. So for the rest of the Northwest Bahamas, including Andros, the Berry Islands, New Providence, and Eleuthera, we're being told to pay close attention to all further alerts as things could change. But that is what we're expecting right now. Conditions to deteriorate beginning today, later today, into the overnight, and tomorrow. So wind is going to be a big issue, and rain from the outer bands, which will begin to move in today. So that is where we are at. Last night, the Prime Minister and the Disaster Risk Management Authority, they had a press conference, and a lot of the same warnings and alerts went out, and the Prime Minister making the announcements about schools. We'll go through all of that today. I want you to listen to what was said yesterday, though. Take a listen to the Prime Minister speaking at this press conference last night. All right, we're trying to get to that press conference. We're going to get to that again. He announced that schools are closed. That was already announced for Grand Bahama and Abaco and Bimini. But now that includes the whole Northwest Bahamas. The Ministry of Education agreeing with this. The schools are closed in Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Key for Tuesday, Wednesday, and all of the Northwest Bahamas. The Prime Minister urging members of the public not to panic, but to take measures to ensure their safety. And this is the time. If you have things in your yard with the winds that are going to pick up, make sure that you secure them so they will not be projectiles. And if you're in a flood zone, well, take a listen now. We're going to go to that press conference from last night.
Good evening, everyone. After the briefing received in Cabinet this morning on the developments and preparations surrounding Hurricane Milton, I wanted to speak to you, the Bahamian people, directly. At 6 p.m. this evening, the Met Office issued its latest bulletin. Hurricane Milton continues to strengthen as it approaches the western coast of Florida and is currently a Category 5 hurricane. The Met Office has upgraded the status for islands in the northern Bahamas from a tropical storm watch to a tropical storm warning. This means that tropical storm conditions are expected within the next 36 hours on the islands of Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Bahama, and the surrounding keys. While the threat is not as significant as that of a hurricane threat posed to our neighbors in Florida, we still need to take it seriously. Tropical storms are nothing new for us. Year after year, we are told how we must prepare and ready ourselves and our homes to keep us all safe. But we know how quickly things can change. The storm, in particular, has intensified extremely rapidly. And so, within the next 24 hours, it is important that you do all that you can to stay safe. The Disaster Risk Management Authority has issued detailed guidance on how best to prepare. Please don't wait. If you haven't already done so, start preparing now. The Met Office advises that as Hurricane Milton passes over Florida, tropical storm winds will be experienced on Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Bahama, and as I said earlier, the surrounding keys. These islands have already experienced excessive rainfall since Sunday from another storm system. And so the ground is already saturated with water. Heavy rainfall has also been experienced on other islands in recent days, namely on Andros, the Berry Islands, New Providence, and Eleuthera. And now the rainfall from Hurricane Milton is expected to intensify, especially overnight tomorrow night. The Met Office advises that as a result, there's likely to be extensive flooding. Take whatever precautions necessary to protect yourselves from this excessive flooding. The Met Office also advises that from noon tomorrow, that is on Wednesday, heavy rainfall is also expected on those other islands, Andros, the Berry Islands, New Providence, and Eleuthera. Because of the heavy flooding, which is expected to result from this, after consultation with the Minister of Education, I'm announcing that all schools on those islands will be closed until Friday for in-person teaching. We don't want our young people having to navigate large areas of flooding while getting to and from school. The Ministry of Education will provide further detailed guidance. The broadcast alert system has already been activated on all mobile phones in the country, and you have received one earlier this afternoon. Please pay attention to the alerts and follow the advice given. ZNS and other news outlets will broadcast further alerts and updates as they are issued. Stay tuned to official channels for updates from the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. friends, for the past several months, have held monthly meetings with the disaster risk management team. Compared to what was in the past, the team has greatly enhanced the degree of national preparedness. They are coordinating efforts across all sectors to ensure that the agency is ready to respond swiftly and effectively. I expect that those of you, especially in Abaco and Grand Bahama, may well find this time to be the cause of some anxiety. Given the projected path of Hurricane Milton and the fact that it is not projected to make landfall in the Bahamas, there's no need for panic or alarm. Even so, much has been learnt and improved upon from past experiences. One of the lessons is that it is better to take extra precautions rather than be taken by surprise by unforeseen events. In other words, as my grandfather would say, it's better to be safe than sorry. Focus your efforts on being safe. For example, if your home is at risk of flooding, go and stay with a friend or relative whose home may not face such risk. Stock up on water, food, batteries, and so on, as you would when facing a direct threat of a hurricane. Clear anything from your property which may be blown around in the wind. Protect your doors and windows. Raise your furniture or other household valuables off the floor in case of the flooding. And of course, and more importantly, protect yourselves. We will continue to monitor the storm extremely closely. The Family Island Administrators, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the National Youth Guard, the Ministry of Works, and all our major agencies are on standby. They are ready to respond and deploy resources as needed to protect and support our communities. We remain in close touch with our partner agencies in the United States and in the region. To those fellow Bahamians residing in Florida, I strongly urge you to take this hurricane extremely seriously. If you are in Florida, Milton is a powerful and dangerous storm, and is forecast to remain so as it makes landfall on Florida's west coast. Please heed the warnings from local authorities, make necessary preparations, and take all measures to ensure your safety and that of your families. The Governor of the Bahamas is coordinating our efforts with our consular offices and local Bahamian associations in Florida to provide assistance wherever possible. As Bahamians, we are no strangers to the challenges posed by tropical storms. We have faced them before, and we have emerged stronger each time. Let us remain vigilant, prepared, and ready to act. Our government stands prepared to take every necessary measure to protect lives, property, and communities. I want to thank you, and may God continue to bless and protect the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Okay, Prime Minister Philip Davis speaking last night at the press conference for the Disaster Risk Management Authority, just giving folks an alert, letting people know that the decisions that were made about schools and the fact that the northern Bahamas, again, only Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini are under tropical storm warning. But we're all told to be on the alert, as we do expect some not pleasant weather beginning today. Today around noon and into the evening and overnight probably won't be pretty. And so again, tropical storm conditions, wind and rain. And we know the streets are already wet and flooded. And so any additional rain could be a challenge. So as you heard, the schools are closed. And already we're getting some very interesting text messages. I see this is going to be one of those days. Prime Minister says, stay calm. We'll see if we can do this with the way some of you are thinking already at this hour in the morning. But let the conversation. Let's talk about this. We'll get to what Abaco and Grand Bahama are doing. We know this is very tough for them. Just 5 years since Dorian to be even seeing a massive storm like this approach them. It's not going to be a direct impact, but too close for comfort, I'm sure. So this will be challenging for our loved ones on those islands. But we were praying for them, and hopefully the wind and the rain won't do them so bad. But let's talk. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 42247. Oh boy, this is going to be, I see it, the text messages. Anyway, so yesterday we were, people were calling us and texting us to say, why aren't the schools closed in New Providence? And we're like, that's ridiculous. My God, it's just a little bit of rain. Please stop. And then as soon as we got off the air, within an hour, a couple schools sent out messages, please come get your kids. We got to send them home. And we're like, what? And the rain was heavy. It was that was a lot of rain yesterday. I was caught in a very heavy downpour late yesterday afternoon. I mean, couldn't see anything. So it wasn't a pleasant day. And if you're dealing with kids, I can imagine that would not have been nice. Plenty of schools closed early yesterday. And then folks were saying, well, why even have school at all? You knew it was going to be a rainy day. It was going to be not just regular little rain, but heavy downpours. And to only after 2 hours after you drop the kids off to be told to come and get them is annoying and infuriating, I'm sure. Well, so we've got parts of the country today, it's a different story, under a tropical storm warning. That's different. You don't have school when the country and part of your country, especially on those islands, are under tropical storm warning or even watch. That was not the case yesterday. And while we are not here in New Providence, we are expecting tropical storm conditions, and there's a gale watch in effect. Those are dangerous conditions as well. So you don't want to have school in conditions like this. So we're getting all kinds of crazy messages here, all over the place. So here's one. I don't understand this. I don't understand. So, Dwight, we closed the schools because we don't want children to navigate through floodwaters. But what about the adults? They should have suggested the closure of businesses as well. I don't know if you understand that children and adults are very different. And that, right? You don't need to be telling the adults what to do. If you want to close your business, but you don't need the government to tell you that. Some businesses can't close. Some won't close, but that's not up to them. And I don't think you want to be in a place where the government tells you to close your business. But if you don't want to go to work, don't go to work. That's your problem. Work it out with your boss. But why do you want the government in this? Anyway, okay. Let's take this call and then we'll get back to the rest of the text messages. They're very special today. Very special. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Chester.
Chester's not with us today. Chester's off.
Hello?
Yeah, Chester's not here. He's off today.
Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dwight and Chester, I agree with the school protocol. For example, if you would pass L.W. Young yesterday, unless you have a car, it was impossible for you to actually navigate through that water to get in the schoolyard. And some parents have these low-lying cars, and when the water table is high, obviously there'll be a lot of stalling. It'll be a lot of stalling, and then obviously you'd have a problem in that area. So the protocol as far as closing school, Nassau, the low-lying area, there's lots of water. So yes, I agree they should close the school during heavy rainfall like that. Right.
Okay. All right. Oh, boy. Well, we won't have school much here. I hear you. It's tricky. Would I have closed schools yesterday? No. But it wasn't a good day. It was not a good day. And I understand people saying that, it's going half the class won't show up, and then what do you do? I get it. But, yeah. Another text here. I would have expected the roofs to be fixed in the northern Bahamas already. Why is government, who should have been fixing roofs since 2019, passing out tarps in 2024? Is that the case? Yeah? All right. Well, I mean, you would have expected the roofs to be fixed. What does that mean? Is somebody going around fixing all the roofs, or you have to pay for that if you have the money? So I don't know what you mean. I need my roof fixed right now, so what does that mean? Okay. Is this much ado about nothing? We'll get 40-mile-per-hour winds and rain, if that. Rain, possibly lightning, and like we get multiple days every summer. To me, any hurricane effect we experience below 120 miles per hour is a blessing if a hurricane has to be experienced. Jeffrey Simmons said just that yesterday, that what we already experience is worse than what Milton will bring. Well, the rain, he said, not the winds. The rain. Right? So what's the probability of that? I think these people just like drama as an opportunity to appear to be in charge of something. Well, you got to take precautions. You just can't be like, just say, whatever, you all need to calm down. You can't, sometimes it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. You never know. You never know. Right? And it's not an exact thing. Could take a little turn to the south. You never know. So I don't think it's helpful to just dismiss people's preparations or telling you to be prepared. I don't see what the issue is. All right, drama. They go on to say drama is the only possible reason. What's the rainfall estimate versus what that drenching we had? The drenching we had on Tuesday afternoon. The issue is rain on top of that is going to be an issue. Places haven't dried out yet. There's still flooded streets, and if more rain is coming this afternoon, we're gonna have a bigger problem. And the ground is already saturated, so that's not going to be good. Even if the total isn't as high as what we got over the past few days, it's on top of a high total. And that is a problem. Plus gusty winds and gale force winds on top of that. And y'all know there are tons of things that are going to be blown around. You know this. Continue to call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-425, 242-300-5720. Okay, another text. Do you know if BTVI is closed? We've heard nothing. I see somebody else was asking about the University of the Bahamas. I don't know. We haven't heard, and I can check for you, but again, if you don't feel safe going to class today, just don't go. If that's going to be you get dropped from the class, I mean, you maybe need to call somebody and tell them. But these are adults now, so it's a different situation. This person says, the public offices need to close. I had to walk through ankle-deep water to get to mine yesterday. At government AC, my feet were ice blocks. What's going on with Abaco's hurricane shelter? The public never got a proper update on the roof collapse and no update on the completion. Well, they had to rebuild it. They had to go doubt it's finished. On the news last night, it was said that a new truss system was purchased. Did the budget increase again? Well, asking rhetorical questions, you know the answers to these things. Did you take a swim downtown yesterday? Because everyone had to traverse East Bay Street, had to swim or float, especially those of us in low-riding cars. Well, so now, like I said, I was caught in a monsoon, and I knew very well I had to turn off from Bay Street. I was on West Bay, said, I know I'm not going downtown. This car is not a flotation device. So I mean, I know some people work right there where it floods very badly, but if you don't have to go that way, don't do it. You know the streets are going to flood, right? Don't go downtown. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. I'll say it again. Don't do it. Okay. Dwight, yesterday, a teacher friend had 8 out of her 27 students showed up for school. She was a glorified babysitter. Yeah, that's how it is. Those days were fun, though, when half of us were there. We had a good time. The question is, why is the government and taxpayers fixing private roofs? Shouldn't such be limited to those who apply for social assistance? Monday coming is a holiday, so now public school kids are going to be off for a whole week in Nassau. That's why we have the average. That's the text. That's the text. Yeah, you think that's why? I don't think that's why, but It is problematic. It is problematic. Another text, close school during heavy rainfall is not a good directive. I agree. I think that's a challenge. Like I said, if there's a tropical storm warning, a hurricane watch, yeah, it's kind of crazy to be in school. But heavy rain today, unless you filled in a swamp to put that school there, it's helpful to anybody. But they go on to say, why can't we be specific, or scientific, they say, scientific. Can we determine how much rain will fall? No. Within what time or of period, and whether those two variables together will lead to a heavy buildup of water? And based on the estimated buildup, will the streets be difficult to navigate? Can somebody in charge please give rainfall estimates for Wednesday and Thursday for the Northern Islands? They've already said. We were hearing 6 to 9 at first, but anyway, anywhere from 4 to 9, and that's the challenge. It's never very scientific, but you can't really do this because you don't know what I don't know all the terms, but since the last time we had a heavy rainfall, somebody built this building here or tore down this and mowed down these trees. And so what it used to be able to withstand a few years ago is going to be very different from today. So you have no idea how bad the flooding will be. You know that it floods a little bit, or that it floods we heard this before over the past 2 years. This is epic amounts of flooding. Right? You heard that earlier this year when we had a big downpour. People said it usually floods, but never like this, because things are getting worse, because we're making worse decisions. And so what you thought, what you estimated, means very little today, unfortunately. But today is not the day. Today's not the day. If you have any of those fancy apps, like Windy, I have Windy. It's a really great app. If you have that, what we're going to see this afternoon into overnight, it'll be amazing if any of us sleep, the amount of rain and the wind. Yeah, nobody should be outside. Nobody. This person says here UB is closed through Thursday. Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. They're saying another one. UB issued a statement all classes will revert to virtual at the Oaksfield campus. Only essential staff will report to work. And I'm sure they're going to say, why us? Dwight, it's strange that we aren't talking about demanding solutions to navigating the lakes that have formed during heavy rainfall in Providence. Has our government sourced any viable options or solutions to addressing this issue? If there is no solution, I have kayaks and paddle boards for rent. Yeah, I'm shocked you didn't give your company name and number. Okay. Dwight, I couldn't send my boys and all that rain, so you didn't do that yesterday. I hear you. Well, especially if you were if they're at one of those schools where they called you back 2 hours later, that would have been very, very unpleasant. This is a person who mentioned the thing about the roofs being fixed. The reason why I asked about fixing roofs in 2024 is because the government started an initiative in 2022 called the Small Home Repair Program in Grand Bahama. So why are we still passing out tarps, considering they should have fixed the roofs from years ago? Sometimes leaks spring up. You fix a roof, and within a few months, it starts again in another area or something, unless if you didn't do the whole thing. Things happen. This person says, every reason you gave for not being able to determine flooding is a reason to fix a problem. Oh, I'm with you. Fix the problem. And that's going to include what you tear down and build up. Are you ready for that? Another text. It's strange that we aren't talking. Yeah. Call 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. And toll free 242-300-5720. So how many of you aren't going to work today? I guess you won't call in to say, but maybe your office is closed. I don't know. Let us know. Text us. Are you going or not? You're going to stay with the kids? You're not prepared to get wet? You got it wet enough already for the week? Your car already said, I'm not sailing through anything. I didn't sign up for this. What are you going to do today and apparently tomorrow as well? let us know. Text us 422-4796. All right, we need to take a break. When we come back more on this, we'll take more of your messages and want to talk more about this and more of what else is in the news on this Wednesday morning here on Guardian Radio. Stay with us.
Can you stop the rain? Oh, everywhere I go, I feel you there, following my footsteps like a shadow of my broken heart.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Got your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Definitely a very different morning from what we've been seeing over the past few weeks on the streets of New Providence. Not much to talk about, as a lot of people, well, the kids aren't going to school, so a lot of people aren't on the streets this morning. Just a few hot spots to tell you about. Mile Butler Highway, as usual, still busy. But the traffic is just north of the Fire Trail roundabout if you're heading northbound. So just as you approach Harold Pond if you're heading northbound. Tony Glooms Darling Highway back up just a bit westbound toward that roundabout. Elsewhere, Blue Hill Road, north of Soldier Road. Question there on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. And Robinson Road still a bit busy for you near Old Trail and on the way to East-West Highway Marathon Road. Marathon also seeing some slow-moving traffic northbound to Wolf Road. So again, a wet morning and not much to talk about. But that is your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/alone/all of you. It is time for another check of your weather, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We're expecting the rain bands from hurricanes, bouts of unsettled weather across portions of the Bahamas beginning today through tonight as the tropical system races closer towards the western coast of Florida. We've got a tropical storm warning effect for the northern Bahamas. That includes Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini. But a gale watch is in effect for the entire northern and northwest Bahamas, and that includes New Providence. So, rain bands from Hurricane Milton will begin to affect the northern, northwest, and central parts of central Bahamas by this afternoon, just around noon or so, through Friday, and heavy downpours will be likely. Residents can expect further flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. There's also the potential for waterspouts and tornado activity. Severe weather conditions can be expected across the country. So for today, for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, cloudy to occasionally overcast, tropical storm conditions expected tonight. For the northwest Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy with tropical storm conditions expected tonight. For the central Bahamas and for the southeastern Bahamas, temperatures today in the mid-80s because of the cloud cover and the rain. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. In your extended outlook for Thursday, tropical storm conditions expected across the northern Bahamas, but possible across the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence. Cloudy conditions elsewhere. And by Friday, the tropical storm conditions are expected to continue for the northern Bahamas and possibly for the northwest Bahamas. Partly sunny with occasional cloudy periods over the central and southeast Bahamas. And by Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy in the northern and northwest Bahamas and Central Islands, variably cloudy in the southeast Bahamas. Improving conditions by Sunday. We'll take a closer look at Milton and the rest of the tropics in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. This weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. The Easy Car Sales Dream Team invites you to drop by EV City, their new location on East-West Highway, where you can choose from a variety of EV models to suit your budget and your lifestyle. Perfect match at EV City near Abundant Life Road. And say goodbye to gas. Visit easy242.com to find out more.
To explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Let's face it, life is hard, but your healthcare doesn't have peace of mind with LAMP plans at Doctors Hospital. Sign up today and enjoy the low-cost advantage. Get up to $5,000 in credit and 2 free nutritional consultations. Choose your plan today by visiting doctorshosp.com/LAMP. We make healthcare easy.
Do you know a fisher who braves the seas every day, bringing home a catch that feeds our communities? Nominate them now for the Anchor Awards, a night dedicated to celebrating the unsung heroes of our waters. On November 16th at the Bahama Resort, we're shining a spotlight on those who make waves, both big and small. Visit the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources and click on the link provided to submit your nomination. Let's give our fishers the recognition they deserve. Anchor Awards 2024.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
You are invited to the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium, October 23rd through 28th, 2024. Bringing the action will be the national teams from Cuba, Curacao, Dominican Republic, U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, and Team Bahamas. There will be 3 games daily from October 23rd to 27th, and the championship gold and bronze games on October 28th. Don't you miss it. The 6th Caribbean Baseball Stadium. Save the date, set your alerts, and be there.
A legacy of leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association in partnership with the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation for Legacy Weekend, celebrating the legacy of Dr. Miles Monroe and other visionary leaders. November 8th to the 9th, experience 3 powerful events. ITWLA hosts Legacy Leadership Lectures, honoring distinguished global leaders. November 9th, the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation presents Legacy Walk to Remember, 5K and 10K routes along West Bay Streets, Nassau, Bahamas. Then join us for the Legacy Concert, featuring Grammy-winning gospel artist Yolanda Adams and Sherwin Gardner at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration, November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit ITWLA.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
Frank, what you doing? Looking at some new insurance options, Uncle. That's me. I've got a guy on Collins Avenue who does my motor insurance. My home policy is through a lady I work with. Now, Johnny from the gym, he's going to hook me up with medical and life. Now, for pensions, I'd like to spread that one around a little bit. Or I could call CG Atlantic. They do all of that.
With all the insurance and pensions cover you need in one place, we're like an uncle that doesn't give you bad advice. CG Atlantic. Good like that.
This October, Dunkin' Donuts is brewing more than just coffee. We're brewing strength because we're stronger together. Donate at any Dunkin' location to support breast cancer awareness, and we'll match every dollar you give. Together, we're making a real difference for the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group. Sip, smile, support. When we stand together, we're stronger together because the Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's a Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
glaze.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now day 20. It's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. As you know, we've got a lot going on weather-wise. We've got a tropical storm warning in effect for the northern Bahamas. That's Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini. As Hurricane Milton is forecast to move over Florida beginning today and north and east of the Bahamas through Friday. And residents in the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, Andros, the Berry Islands, and Eleuthera, should continue to monitor the movements of Milton and pay attention to the alerts from the Department of Meteorology. We've also got a gale watch in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas. So here's what's happening. Rain bands from Hurricane Milton will begin to affect the northern and northwest and even portions of the central Bahamas beginning this afternoon through Friday. And heavy downpours will be likely. Residents can expect further flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas which are already saturated. This will be during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. There's also the potential for waterspouts and tornado activity, and severe weather conditions can be expected across the country. So your forecast for today for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, cloudy to overcast with tropical storm conditions expected beginning tonight. For the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly cloudy to cloudy with tropical storm conditions expected tonight. For the Central Islands, variably cloudy, pretty much the same for the southeastern Bahamas. Temperature-wise today, with the cloud covering the rain, we're looking at highs getting up to the mid-80s in Fahrenheit, about 28 Celsius for the northern Bahamas, 31 Celsius for the Central and Southeastern Islands. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about the mid-70s, about 23 Celsius, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Thursday, probably the worst day of all of this, we're looking at tropical storm conditions for the northern Bahamas and possible tropical storm conditions for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence. Cloudy conditions elsewhere. By Friday, tropical storm conditions continue for the northern Bahamas and also a possibility for the northwest Bahamas, but partly sunny with occasional cloudy periods in the central and southeast Bahamas. By Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy in the northwest and northern Bahamas, variably cloudy in the southeast Bahamas. And Sunday, vastly improved conditions as we head into the holiday. Partly sunny in the northern and northwest Bahamas, variably cloudy in the central and southeast Bahamas. By National Heroes Day on Monday, partly cloudy to cloudy, and only a 20 to 40% chance of showers. So in the tropics, we are watching a couple of areas other than Milton. We'll get to Milton in just a bit. We've got showers and thunderstorms associated with a gale-force non-tropical low-pressure system northeast of the northwest Bahamas. That continues to become better organized. That's the system that brought all this rain for the past few days. That system has about a 50% chance of developing into something over the next 7 days as it moves away from us. Then there's a tropical wave expected to move off the west coast of Africa in the next couple of days. That system has a low or 10% chance of formation through the next 7 days. With Milton remains a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane forecast to make landfall on the Gulf Coast of Florida late tonight. Again, for the Bahamas, rain bands from Milton will begin to spiral across the northern and northwest Bahamas by late this afternoon, and residents in Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco are urged to continue preparations for possible tropical storm conditions by tonight. We'll have more on Milton in just a bit, but that's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints got you covered for all of your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And time for another check of your traffic, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. All right, so the schools are closed and the streets are empty. We can't just say it's because of the schools, though. A lot of businesses, apparently. But the streets. Wow. And just a few issues. Mile above the highway, still heavy traffic as usual. The closer you get to Tawny Plumes Darling Highway, you'll see cars in front of you there. But definitely not what you would normally see at this hour. Tawny Plumes Darling Highway, some slow-moving traffic westbound towards that roundabout. Elsewhere, really not much to talk about. And, boy, that's your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Get ready for the events of the year. Inspire Her 2024 is back and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Get tickets now in the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available. Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference, October 10th. See you there.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Do you know a fisher who braves the seas every day, bringing home a catch that feeds our communities? Nominate them now for a night dedicated to celebrating the unsung heroes of our waters. On November 16th at the Bahama Resort, we're shining a spotlight on those who make waves, both big and small. Visit the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources Facebook page and click on the link provided to submit your nomination. Let's give our fishers the recognition they deserve. Anchor Awards 2024.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Gardening Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this wet Wednesday. All right, so I think people can stop texting now. So it looks like all the schools are closed. So UB is closed. BTVI is closed. We got an alert from the Catholic Board of Education. All of their schools on New Providence, Abaco, and Grand Bahama will be closed through Thursday. Yep. Okay. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I want to give you the very latest on Milton, and then we will talk. We've got a lot of very interesting text messages. We've been talking about this, including the situation with the streets and how empty they are. So a lot of you clearly aren't going to work today. The kids are all home, and it's just it's the equivalent of a snow day, is it? Yeah, a snow day in Nebraska. It's, what do we call it? Rain day. Yeah, okay. It rains almost every day in this place, but anyway. All right. So the latest with Milton. And we're going to get a new update shortly, but it remains a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane expected to make landfall on the Gulf Coast of Florida. We're really, really concerned about them. And that's expected to happen overnight, and everybody hates that. Everybody hates when the hurricane hits you at night. You can't see anything. You can't see where to go. The power is out. Everything is out. Chaos, and that's terrifying. Absolutely. But anyway, a tropical storm warning remains in effect for the northern Bahamas. That includes Grand Bahama, the Abacos, and Bimini. Tropical storm warning means that tropical storm conditions could be experienced within 36 hours. We're expecting that tonight. So as of 5 o'clock, the eye of Milton was located near latitude 24.3 degrees north and longitude 85.5 degrees west, or about 300 miles southwest of Tampa in Florida, or 390 miles west-southwest of Alistown, Bimini, 435 miles west-southwest of Freeport, Grand Bahama, or 535 miles west-southwest of Marsh Harbor. That puts it 500 miles west of New Providence. Milton is moving east near 14 miles per hour. A northeast motion with some increase in forward speed is expected through tonight. A turn toward the east-northwest and east is expected on Thursday and Friday. On the forecast track, the center of Milton will move across the eastern Gulf of Mexico today, make landfall along the west-central coast of Florida late tonight, or early Thursday morning. They mean early, like after midnight, 1 o'clock, and move off the east coast of Florida over the Atlantic Ocean by Thursday afternoon. Maximum sustained winds remain near 160 miles per hour with higher gusts, and Milton is a Category 5 hurricane. And Milton is expected to remain an extremely dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west coast of central Florida. The west central coast today. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 30 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 125 miles from the center. Now, the rain bands from Hurricane Milton will begin to spiral across the northern and northwest Bahamas by late this afternoon. Residents in Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, including all surrounding keys, are urged to continue preparations for possible tropical storm conditions that will begin by tonight. Tropical storm conditions include winds in excess of 40 miles per hour and heavy rainfall and thunderstorms with tornado activity. Right? Severe flooding is anticipated in low-lying and flood-prone areas Residents in or near known flood-prone areas are urged to take extra precautions while maneuvering in these areas. Residents in the northwest Bahamas, including Andros, the Berry Islands, New Providence, and Eleuthera, should continue to pay close attention to all alerts on Milton. And again, we're expecting another update in just a moment. All right, so that's happening. Schools are closed. People are trying to determine whether their businesses will be closed, their offices are closed, and I'm sure by now you need to check your emails or check Facebook and see what your people are saying. But we can tell you the streets of New Providence are much emptied on a non-holiday Wednesday. And so that begs the question, as it does, whenever the start of the school year comes, what are we really going to do about this traffic situation? It's not just the schools why it's like this today. Plenty of people aren't going to work. But we know in the summer, we don't have these issues. It takes you just minutes to get anywhere at 8:30 a.m. or 3 p.m. even. Well, especially 3 p.m. and even 5 o'clock. But when schools are open, there's chaos and madness. And this is a good time to think about this. Can we continue like this? It's only getting worse. It's getting worse. We really have to think of some better alternatives. Is it mandatory school busing to limit the number of people who are driving on the streets in the morning to get kids to school? What can we do here? This is not sustainable at all. At all. We can talk about that and also, again, what you're doing today if you're not going in to work and now that you don't have to take the kids in. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. We also asked earlier how much rain is coming. Can't we predict how much flooding there will be? And I'm saying it's gotten worse and gets worse every week because people keep tearing down and building up, and that affects everything, and that's creating very hard conditions for a lot of people. So we can talk about all of that stuff this morning. Tweet us, Facebook us, and text us 422-4796. Okay, we've got a lot of your text messages to get to. Continue to send them. This person says here, the cutting down of hills and trees, that's contributing to the changes in weather patterns. Okay. We as a people have to do our parts to try and curb that the best way we can. We have a mining field cutting down hills smack in the center of the Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Mining field. Well, yeah, they're definitely cutting down hills at a number of spots all over New Providence. Still, the few hills that are left, it's pretty bad. And that's supposed to have stopped, but I guess not for certain people. This person says, how do you guys know when the streets are empty and your traffic? You don't worry about that. You don't worry about that. Anyway, before we get too comfortable, know that a tornado just tore off half of a lady's roof in the eastern area. Watch the road and be safe, Bahamas. Many personally. Did you see it? Did you see it yourself? Yeah? Okay. Well, we're going to see some weird conditions. And I've seen these little ones pop up before. I think they have a special name for those little ones. But, yeah, if you've got stuff outside, bring it in. Bring it in now before it gets worse. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
So one of the things I think can be done for the downtown Dallasville Street flooding issue is if you drive that road or those roads, see that the drainage is constantly clogged with mud and gook. Mm-hmm. If we had a team of people to keep those drains clear, we wouldn't have as much flooding. But there's also, I understand, a study that has been done to improve that whole area that has been totally ignored because, as you note, those drainage systems have been there since the road was built, and nothing has been upgraded. We have lots of new technology that could help with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do see the teams out clearing drains, but the drains look like they're too small. And I'm sure they fill up very quickly. I don't know if they're the adequate drains that we need.
No, exactly. And there's some sections of Dalzell Street, the mud is the same level as the road. So there's nowhere for the water to go.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of issues. But as you say, the technology is there. We've got a lot of brilliant people here, right here in the Bahamas, Bahamians who can, but yet we're still here.
Yeah, and then like there's a road out West Seaview Drive with drainage that takes it right out into Goodman's Bay. It crosses, the drainage goes underneath West Bay, and if you go and you swim there or you go into water, you'll see the big openings. That road, that area, floods with high tide and king tide, and when it rains, it makes it even worse.
Yeah.
All you need to do is put a, I'll use the word, a door that only opens one way, which means out into the water. So when the tide comes up, tide can't come back up through the drain. That's a big problem, and I know that personally. And apparently that has been suggested and been ignored.
My goodness. Wow. Yeah. It's odd. It's very curious what goes on here. Thank you very much. Appreciate your call always.
Yep.
All right. Be safe. We got the same issue in eastern New Providence, and it floods every time. Every time. At the end of Prince Charles Drive, and people still try to make it through there. I've seen a pickup up to the roof. I'm not exaggerating. It gets that bad out there. The roof, I said. The roof, not the hood. The roof. But people try to go through it. Doesn't make any sense. This texter says here, Dwight, where do you think traveling brave Davis will ride out the storm while his country... Okay, why are you all like this? While his country is under the weather. I was shocked to see him at the news conference. I thought he would be in Dubai fighting for climate change. You know... You feel good about writing that text? Yeah, where does that get us? But he's right here. He's right here, boy. Ah, man. This texter says, my boss was good enough to tell me to stay home today and tomorrow. Thank God for good bosses. I don't think that has anything to do with the boss being good. It may be just your field. You don't need to be at work. We're going to be here. Does that mean that our boss is not good? Certainly not. Right, Mr. Producer? Exactly. Yeah. According to Weather Underground, we should expect dry conditions in Nassau for the next 7 hours. The 10-day weather forecast for Nassau also looks good up to Friday. Are we basing decisions on data or fear? Well, first of all, underground is, that word alone, right? What do you, maybe. Not saying there won't be a raindrop, but two different sources say it doesn't look like it. What is the Met Office saying about rainfall here? I just told you what they said. I don't know what Weather Underground is saying. Underground, huh? But rain is in the forecast. But wind might be the biggest factor. Wind. And you're hearing, people are saying they're seeing little tornadoes pop up. So wind may be the biggest concern. Keep that in mind. This person says here, what now? I don't understand. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
I'm calling you to find out the special number that you call for BPL, because my light has been off now through Casarilla Street for the past 17 hours.
Whoa.
I've been calling BPL. I went through the operator. I've been calling the emergency number. Nobody is answering the phone. I can't, nothing. Do you have that special number that you use? Because you're the only person I know that your lights be off most of the time, too.
Well, that means that I don't have the number if mine is all like that. But wait, is it just your house? Are you sure it's...
No, it's the whole street.
The whole street?
Yeah. And only Casarilla.
Where exactly
Casarilla
is that?
Street in Pinewood.
Pinewood. Wow, that's terrible. Okay, leave your number with the producer. And let me see if I can get some messages. They've had a shake-up there. I don't know if I know anybody anymore.
Alrighty, thank you.
Leave your number. Don't hang up. Leave your number with the producer. Let me see if I can get a message to the people I know. That's 17 hours?
Yes, sir. From 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
Does it appear that any lines are down or poles
No lines are down and nothing.
That's crazy. All right, leave your number with the producer, please, please. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Producer, get his number for us there, and I'll pass that along. Wow. Okay, this texture says here, the problems that you are highlighting, nobody in the government has the will to permanently fix the public transportation or school transportation issues because the government profits off of it. All this lost productivity spent in traffic is seen, but they don't care. They have sirens and the police to help them no matter what time of day it is. That's a very good point. All right, so BPL is messaging me. They got it. They heard you. They listened. So look at that. See? Morning Blend. Yeah. They're on it. They're on it. Hopefully, call me back. Let me know if that gets resolved. Wow. Boy. Okay. They're also saying, yeah, that's a good point, Texter. Right? They do not understand that. Yesterday, that was rain. I can't blame the government for anything to do with that. But all that rain yesterday, what normally would have taken me, it might have taken me 15 to 20 minutes to get where I needed to go because of the rain. And me trying to avoid the streets I knew were going to be flooded. It took me over an hour to get where I needed to go yesterday. About an hour and 15 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. But again, that's me avoiding flooded streets and driving in almost a circle to avoid drowning. And because I couldn't see where I was going because of that rain. But you are right. You are very right. They're also saying, ask the former transport minister, who is now ironically education minister, how much was done to improve either public transportation, school transportation, or even the virtual education system that could now be used and could help to relieve traffic on the streets. Well, what needs to be done with the transportation system is going to hurt some people. And so I think governments are afraid to do that. But it's going to help more people than it will hurt. And I don't understand why they don't see that. That the majority, you need to look out for your people. And, but no, they don't want to do that, no. This texture says here, the government needs to inspect the people that are clearing the drains. They put the dirt right next to the drain after they clean it. That means that drains fill right back up with dirt in no time. They need to carry the dirt with them after they clear it, not dump it nearby. Okay. I live in the Seaview Drive area. Yesterday was a disaster. Wow. Yeah. That's rough. The other problem with the drains, we've talked about this many times, is the ones especially on Robinson Road, where there's a little depression. It's more than a depression, I'm being nice. Wherever the drain is, and it's a terrible ride. If you're trying to drive through there. Maybe they're using that for speed control, but you can't drive smoothly on that. You're going to be on the worst roller coaster ever. As you down and up, and every time you are on the drain, it's like that, and then you have to straddle the other lane, and the people in the inner lane, they're blowing their horn at you because like, what are you doing in my lane? And that's been like that for a couple years now, and it's getting worse. You can see it's getting worse. But what are we doing? This texture, I'm surprised. Oh, no, where did it go? Okay, when I lived in the States, my state had a bus service that picked up and dropped off school-age kids. Yeah, that's almost everywhere. It surely reduced the traffic. I believe that we can implement the same over here. The only thing is we have to vet the bus drivers so they won't touch the little ones. Oh, my Lord. Okay, while that is true, we also need to be menaces to each other. That is often the scariest moment for some people, being on the bus ride to and from school because of the bullies and the unpleasant children they have to deal with, who are surely mainly reflections of their parents. But anyway, that's another story. This texter says, I think we should erect tiger dams or aqua dams like they do in Florida to solve our flooding issues. I'm surprised we don't have dams considering how low lying the country is. Okay. Dams. Huh. Might need some more canals, but that also can present some issues. This texture says the problem isn't only the cutting down of the hills, but it is also very, very bad development or selfish, greedy developers. The homes and businesses shouldn't be at least 3 to 5 blocks high off the roadside. I hear you. I hear you. This texter says here, that other texter is correct. We are all shocked. Oh, you about, no, not this again. Really? We're all shocked that he's here. That might have been a CGI or hologram. Please, no, come on. No. Not today. Come on. Really? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well.
Let me first apologize to you.
Oh, boy.
Right? Because I don't know what the topic is, but just allow me a minute, please.
Only
I just came out of the food store, right? And if I could send you the receipt, I would. But I kid you not. I got 4 items. A bag of green grapes, a bag of red grapes, a loaf of Roman meal bread, and 5 bananas. $43.82.
What, the grapes were what, $10 each?
$15
Oh, no.
for one.
No.
Why is food so expensive?
Oh, no.
I kid you not. Listen, I can afford it, right? But that don't mean I need to go and do this. Buddy, this is ridiculous. They've got to do something with the price of these stuff in the food store, buddy. Honestly, this is crazy. I had some other stuff in the cart. I just left the cart at the register. I just picked up those 4 items right there.
This is one of those big bags or something. Is it one of those big bags that you're talking about? I don't understand the price. See, you remember back in those movies they used to show us about the Romans, and for rich people now. I don't eat grapes. Sorry.
Honestly,
no. You gotta be an emperor to afford grapes.
This is ridiculous. Honestly, can y'all look into this? Because honestly, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, that's insane. Wow.
This is crazy.
That's rough. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, you got to probably grow your own. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So, can I read this? Can I read this on the air? Yeah. All right. So this is from BPL. Yes. Okay. So we have several areas out due to the weather from yesterday and last night. Our crews worked through the night, and we now have a fresh team ready to go out this morning to address outstanding service calls. So, yeah. So patience will be needed. Especially if the winds pick up. All right, so let's take a break, and we're going to get back to all of this. Want to hear from you more about the transportation system. This is a good time to look around and see that we got to find a better way. Again, it's not just because the schools are closed. A lot of people aren't going to work. But why aren't we talking and thinking about this more often? We need a better school transportation system. We don't need to be sitting in traffic every day for hours at a time. I don't mind it too much because I'm not in the traffic in the morning, but you all are there with me. And so, hey, you got to stay for a good portion of the show, and that's cool. But burning a lot of gas and wearing out your patience, I'm sure. But stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Mr. Driver, bring that big bus here. Yes, ma'am. Oh, shucks. Mr. Bus Driver, I heard about your bus. How you drive it careful and never do you rush. Yes, the ride is nice and everything is smooth. The atmosphere is friendly and the music, it ain't rude. I heard you pay attention, you read all the signs. I could use a driver like you all the time.
A legacy of leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association in partnership with the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation for Legacy Weekend, celebrating the legacy of Dr. Miles Monroe and other visionary leaders. November 8th to the 9th, experience 3 powerful events. ITWLA hosts Legacy Leadership Lectures, honoring distinguished global leaders. November 9th, the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation presents Legacy Walk to Remember, 5K and 10K routes along West Bay Streets, Nassau, Bahamas. Then join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert, featuring Grammy-winning gospel artist Yolanda Adams and Sherwin Gardner at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit itwla.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
Oh, what fun! The most wonderful time of year is almost here. If you're dreaming of a car, new home, land, travel abroad, or big gifts to share, CIBC Caribbean will help you get your wish list prepared. Start early. Apply now for a loan online at CIBCFCIB.com. Conditions apply.
Are you looking to save for a big purchase or occasion for you? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond. I am guaranteed to earn in on your money with terms ranging from 1 to 6 years. Government savings bonds are available to all Bahamians, and for as little as $100, you can start to save for your future. The Bahamas Government Saving Bond, a safe investment guaranteed. Check out the Central Bank of the Bahamas website for details.
NASA, are you ready for November 2nd? Because we are ready!
Hi, this is KB, and I will be performing live.
Break and Scrape Explosion. Reloaded.
This is the one and only Fan John letting y'all know that yours truly will be performing.
Oh yeah, this your boy D-Mac, and I'll be performing live.
Keep the vibe alive, music groove, and Alpha Sounds Promotion invites you to the biggest Rake and Scrape concert of the year.
And you thought they was gonna leave me out?
Saturday, November 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground.
It's me, Mama D.
This is Wilfred Solomon.
Yo, it's your boy Ron.
It's your boy Elliot from the New Breed Band.
The biggest artist of the 242.
It's your boy Shine 242. Hey, it's Sherrod Taylor.
It's your boy Johnny K.
Falcon Sugar.
It's your boy DJ Rev.
It's me now, Funky D. This is your girl Nishi out. It's Loose Me.
Hey there, this is Freak on Beat.
Hey, this is Cheeto D, and I will be performing live.
Hey, it's me, Julian Belize.
Tickets available at the Beauty Shack and BahamasEtickets.com. The countdown is on. Rake and Scrape Explosion. Best of the best.
The future of driving is here, and it's electric. Welcome to EV City, Easy Car Sales' new home for electric vehicles. Whether you want an affordable model or a luxury ride, EV City has the perfect electric car for you. Don't just take our word for it. Come test drive the power, the smoothness, and the savings. You'll love electric after just one ride. Cut your driving costs in half and say goodbye to gas stations for good. Visit EV City on the highway through the Solomon Service Road and drive into the future today.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef, it's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Are you a Bahamian with property on one of our 16 island destinations? Well, the Tourism Development Corporation, in partnership with Bahamas Development Bank, is officially launching our Home Sweet Home Incentive. Join the vacation market by transforming your properties into vacation rentals. Earn up to $10,000 or more in funding and start building today. Register at tdcbahamas.com. From October 7th to November 18th. What are you waiting on? Build your vacation home today.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Straw with you on this Wednesday morning. It's an unusual Wednesday as it seems the country is shut down. And many are asking why. Lots of questions about this. But again, we're expecting conditions to deteriorate beginning this afternoon. More rain and winds to pick up. Tropical storm conditions likely for the Northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, and tropical storm conditions expected for the north and Bimini. So you don't need to be taking unnecessary chances. And as the Prime Minister said, better safe than sorry. Okay, so you heard the caller about BPL, and BPL responded saying that they're on it. They're having some issues because of the weather, the rain that we saw, which was not Milton. That wasn't Milton. That was a different system that's now out in the Atlantic and still trying to organize itself. But that brought tons of rain to us already. And we're expecting Milton to start, the outer bands start rolling in later today. So BPL's been having issues, and BTC apparently has been having issues. I got a notification yesterday that there were some issues, and somebody's texting saying the phone seemed to be out as well. And so we hope BTC is working on that. But the challenges are already underway. All right, so this texter says, these folks are, I'm going to read it. These folks are crazy. Students are in shelter at school. It's not like they are teaching the safest at school. Many students eat at school. Students experience the best life at school. Okay. Only privileged parents are screaming about closing schools. And why wouldn't adults be going to work? This is a regular day. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. This texter in response to that call we got about the price of groceries. Yes, grapes are $15 a bag now, and everything in the shop is unmercifully high. They are pricing like we are all living free off the government. Well, that's why it shouldn't be that high. Huh? Also, there was a tornado out east and ripped off someone's roof early this morning. Pray, people, pray. Okay. We're going to try to confirm that report, but yeah, that happens. That does happen, so we're going to see. So keep that in mind. Dwight, we have to blame ourselves for these prices in the shops. If we don't buy them and let them rot, then nothing will change, because these greedy hogs we have in this country know we as Bahamians will complain and still buy them. Well, prices are going up all over the world, though. So we know that. We know that for sure. But, another text. What we might need to look at is having delayed school starts and dismissal times. My girls attend 2 government schools. When the private schools are closed or on their breaks, traffic moves much better, especially along Mile Butler Highway. Okay, so it's private schools are the problem. That's what we were going to say. Well... Oh, boy. Let's take a break for news. We'll be back with a whole lot more. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to a special edition of Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Things are a little different today as a result of Hurricane Milton, and we are focused on the weather conditions that are expected to deteriorate beginning today for some parts of the Bahamas, and we're going to get into some of the ways Milton's already affecting business in the country as well in this hour. But we've got the very latest from the Department of Meteorology on Milton, the 9 o'clock update, which has the latest on Milton as of 8 o'clock this morning. So, Hurricane Milton remains a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane forecast to make landfall in the Gulf Coast of Florida late tonight as a dangerous major hurricane. A tropical storm warning remains in effect for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, the Abacos, and Bimini. Tropical storm conditions could be experienced on these islands within 36 hours. As of 8 o'clock this morning, the eye of Hurricane Milton was located near latitude 25.0 degrees north and longitude 84.8 degrees west, or about 250 miles southwest of Tampa, 348 miles west-southwest of Alistown in Bimini, 389 miles west-southwest of Freeport, or 491 miles west-southwest of Marsh Harbor. That puts it 463 miles west of New Providence, and the last update was 500 miles west, so it's now 463 miles west. Milton is moving towards the northeast near 16 miles per hour. A northeastern motion with some increase in forward speed is expected through tonight. A turn toward the east-northeast is expected on Thursday and Friday. On the forecast track, the center of Milton will move across the eastern Gulf of Mexico today, make landfall along the west-central coast of Florida late tonight or very early tomorrow morning, and move off the east coast of Florida over the Atlantic Ocean by Thursday afternoon. Maximum sustained winds remain near 155 miles per hour with higher gusts, and Milton is still a Category 5 hurricane. It's expected to remain an extremely dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west-central coast of Florida. Hurricane-force winds extend outward up to 30 miles from the center, and tropical storm-force winds extend outward up to 125 miles from the center. So for the Bahamas, rain bands from Hurricane Milton will begin to spiral across the northern and northwest Bahamas by late this afternoon. Residents in Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, and the surrounding keys are urged to make preparations, wrap them up actually, for possible tropical storm conditions that will begin by tonight. Tropical storm conditions include winds in excess of 40 miles per hour, heavy rainfall, and thunderstorms with tornadic activity likely. Severe flooding is also anticipated in low-lying and flood-prone areas. Residents in or near known flood-prone areas are urged to take extra precautions while maneuvering in these areas. Residents in the northwest Bahamas, including Andros, the Berry Islands, New Providence, and Eleuthera, should continue to pay close attention to all alerts. There'll be another alert at 12 p.m. today. Okay, so that's the latest on Milton and what we can expect. Same thing we've been telling you, tropical storm conditions expected tonight and rain bands expected this afternoon. So we're talking about this and whether the reaction so far in New Providence has been a little over the top. Some of you seem to think so, and others not. Well, we're hoping for a day off, but we know that tomorrow will likely be the worst day weather-wise, or at least overnight into tomorrow. And so we're talking about that. We're talking about the streets, how bare they are, and how when school is in, we notice major differences compared to when school's not in, and whether we really need to be looking into fixing this with a proper school bus system once and for all to alleviate some of the madness we see. And then we got a call about the prices in the stores. And we're talking about the utilities as well. So we've been talking about everything. Everybody's getting their stuff off the chest. Some people throwing some digs in at the Prime Minister. I don't know what that's about, but hey. So let's continue it, folks. 323-62, not the digs. But unless you want to, I don't know. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free, 242-300-5720. If you're in Grand Bahama, give us a call. If you're in Abaco, give us a call. We want to hear how you all are preparing. We know this is a very tough time for you, just off the 5-year anniversary of Dorian, and I think this is the I believe so, the first storm that's threatening to come close, and I can imagine that is Not easy. Not easy for any of you there. So call in 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. So, again, we had a caller earlier who said they was buying some grapes and he couldn't believe the price. And, other people saying, the price is outrageous. But this person says, well, if y'all would stop teething, they would not raise the price because y'all teeth too much. Oh, boy. Yikes. Well, all right. So, in today's Guardian Business section, cruise lines pivot as Milton eyes Florida. Bahamas itineraries shuffled as northern islands expect tropical storm conditions. Our Chester Robards writing about this today. Cruise lines are preparing to route ships to the Bahamas to avoid strong Hurricane Milton currently churning in the Gulf. But those same lines will also begin routing ships away from the Bahamas as Milton crosses Florida and skirts the northern islands of the archipelago. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line sharing sailing changes with Guardian Business yesterday, which showed that while ships were visiting the cruise line's private island, Perfect Day, at Cocoa Key yesterday, the island will be taken off the itinerary today, with Nassau added the following day for some cruises. Oh, boy. On Thursday, Nassau will be replaced by islands in the northern Caribbean for some sailings. So, RCI Senior Manager Janet Diaz saying, quote, along with our chief meteorologist, we are closely monitoring the progression of Hurricane Milton. For the comfort and safety of our guests, we are adjusting certain sailings. Guests have been notified of the changes directly. So, as you know, the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, and the adjacent waters and keys have been put a tropical storm warning as a result of Milton. Milton expected to hit Florida today. Carnival Cruise begun to alter itineraries in order to lessen the impact of the hurricane on its sailings. As of yesterday, the cruise line made no changes that would affect the Bahamas. Carnival's website saying, quote, all of Carnival's ships will continue to sail a safe distance from the storm. As the safety of our guests and crew is our priority, we will continue to monitor the storm, factor in guidance from the National Hurricane Center, the U.S. Coast Guard, and the local port authorities to provide timely updates as more information becomes available. So, while there were no significant changes to speak of at Nassau Cruise Port, CEO Mike Mora told Guardian Business that they were in the process of shuffling ships with changing itineraries from one day to another. So, it's going to be an interesting few days for everybody. A regular day, it seems, for Nassau today, but not likely tomorrow. There's also another story in the Guardian Business section about Bahamas Air, their last flight out of Orlando, Lyndon Pindling International Airport. Our Yuri Kemp writing about this. Lyndon Pindling International Airport had 7 flights canceled yesterday due to Hurricane Milton, as the last scheduled Bahamas Air flight made it out of Orlando. Nassau Airport Development Company said the flights were canceled out of an abundance of caution as a result of the impending hurricane. And 7 flights scheduled for today have been canceled, including 4 Orlando International Airport and 3 from Fort Lauderdale International Airport. Further cancellations are expected today, Wednesday, due to airport closures in Tampa and Orlando. Additionally, delays are anticipated for flights to and from Miami International Airport and Fort Lauderdale International Airport. Well, I don't know why it'd be going. The last Bahamas Air flight came in at 4:50 p.m. Yesterday. That's Tuesday. Passengers are encouraged to contact their airlines for the latest flight status updates. Wow. All right. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Got some of your apps here. Dwight, with the weather report you just gave, why are Nassau schools closed? Well, I gave you the report on Milton, but for the weather report, it is expected that it's going to be a rainy day later today. I'm not sure. We can't see from in the studio whether it's raining. Let me see if I can get a camera to look outside. But we are expecting conditions. And some of the country's under tropical storm warning. But you're asking about New Providence schools. I hear you. Again, conditions are expected to deteriorate by this afternoon. We're expecting rain. The rain bands to start rolling in. And I don't think we want what we had yesterday. We might not have that, but just in case, you don't need to have a bunch of kids trying to get home, parents trying to pick them up in those type of downpours that we saw yesterday. I think we keep hearing an abundance of caution. People said, okay, let's not do this today and tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just going to be, and that is the danger, right? A lot of people will be saying, well, this was a perfectly fine day. It was just a little drizzle. Why do we do this? And then some people in the future won't take these things as seriously as they should. That's an unfortunate way to look at it, right? But here is the forecast. This is what we're expecting today. Again, the rain bands will start to affect the northern and northwest Bahamas by this afternoon. One app I'm looking at says, but it could be mid-afternoon, so maybe 3 o'clock. That's not a good time, right? Not a good time because that's when the kids are coming out of school. So you don't need that. And I think that's why that was done, Texter. But this is what we're expecting today for the northern and northwest Bahamas. Cloudy to overcast conditions, more overcast in northern Bahamas, but cloudy, partly cloudy to cloudy in the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, with tropical storm conditions expected tonight. And the possibility there is enough for people to say, hey, well, let's just not take any chances and not have any school today. The winds are going to pick up. The rain bands are going to come in. And that's why. We've got about a 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. That is not much. We have that every day in the summer, it seems, right? But that's the early part of the day. That will increase to 40 to 60% by this afternoon. It's only a few hours away. Again, out of the abundance of caution, it was deemed that this is not a good idea. So that's why. I hope that answers the question. I'm sure it won't for some. But hey, this person says here, Dwight, the F&M or the PLB fixing the public transportation will cause many to get bus plates. You think they're hurting their pockets? I'm not in the words you're saying. What? Oh, you say that was them fixing it by giving more people bus plates. Oh, okay. Another text. There are hundreds, maybe up to 2,000 homeowners on Grand Bahama looking for tarps to cover roofs that the PLP promised they would fix. I'm sure the same is for Abaco. It's a text. That's scary. It's very scary. This text says here, yesterday when the weather went off in heavy rain, okay, I said Bahamas grid is another dud. What? The electricity goes off in the rain. Well, they're not officially here yet. I mean, not. Anyway, the electricity goes off in the rain with lightning, in the heat. If a car hits a pole, the entire island goes black. Nothing has changed. And it doesn't look like they had a plan other than, okay, you're getting ahead of yourself unless you're living in the future. We're not officially under whatever the new system will be as yet. So you can't go saying it's another dud already. Anyway, but we are still in the challenged period when it comes to electricity in the country. Another text. School closures make no sense. I would bet my last dime this is a political decision. When I listened to the Department of Meteorology officer, he said without a doubt we will be okay. What would be the political decision? How would it be political to close schools? You think that's going to what? Explain. I don't want to put words in your mouth. What does that mean? Think that'll win votes? Good morning, Dwight. Looking at the Doppler radar from Monday, I was surprised that schools weren't closed from yesterday, because of all the rain we got yesterday. Well, plenty of schools closed early. Schools did. The schools in the northern Bahamas were closed yesterday, and already. So yeah, but yeah, yesterday was not a pleasant day. Not a pleasant day, and that's why some schools closed early. Yeah. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. I want to take a look outside. Let me see what's going on. Oh, boy. Is this, yeah? What? Is it sunny? We're in a dark studio. We can't see anything. Oh, it looks like it's... It's a little overcast, a little cloudy, but I see some, it looks kind of sunny in some parts of New Providence. Oh, boy. Hey, man, it's the calm before the storm. Yeah, somebody else. It is sunny. Oh, man. Well, midday. That's what, afternoon is what we're saying. Afternoon is what we're saying. Don't watch nothing yet, is what the meteorologists will say to you. But 3 o'clock, look for that. Let's talk at 3 o'clock and tell me if you think schools shouldn't have been closed today. We'll see. Or unless you want that. People start the school this morning and then have to come and pick up the kids earlier. I don't know if that would have been appreciated. But there will be no doubt that there should be school tomorrow, that there should not be school tomorrow. People will say, yeah, thank goodness, based on the rain and the wind. All right, let's take this call, and then we've got to take a break at some point. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Hearing something? No? Okay, 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. People send me pictures of the sun. It's a beautiful day out, they're saying. Oh, boy. No way. Sunny is the outlook through Friday for Nassau. Where is saying that? No. That is not accurate. I refuse to believe that. Not based on what I'm seeing. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Okay, something's going on with your phone. Yep, okay. This texter says here, the Met Office has Doppler radar. They can tell you exactly where rain will fall, the intensity, and the duration. If I remember radars on multiple islands, I'll wait to see about this rain. As far as I heard, it's Grand Bahama and Apico that's supposed to get rain bands, not Nassau, but we'll see. Pike is switching out lines, and Focall brought in 2 new generators in July. I don't think Focall is what you mean to say. They sound like they started to me. The rollout failed, so they stopped the discussion. The words you're using just are... Anyway, Pike is here. We don't know exactly what they're doing. They're working on something. But the previous texter was saying that this whole setup is already a dud. It's a bit much. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, right?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, don't pay those people no man.
Okay, you're breaking up. You're breaking up a lot.
You can hear me?
For some reason, you're breaking up quite a bit.
Oh, I don't understand why. But I said those people who complaining, if they were a teacher, they would have a different way of thinking. But I saw yesterday the same result. In space of 20 minutes, everything turned back.
Okay, you're going to have to call us back. The last part we missed there. I know you said if they were teachers, they would have a different reaction to all this. But call us back. Let's see what's going on. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Hi, John. C. Allen Johnson.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, are you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Okay, yes. Dwight, let me explain something, right, again. The bus system won't be fixed because it requires a reimagining of the economy. Everything that needs fixing in the Bahamas is a form of digitization and digitalization, and it reduces the need for the type of labor or what is being done. Let's use, for instance, a few years ago, a survey was done for the civil service. It says that 7,500 individuals are needed to run the civil service. Yet you have the government talking about expediting. You have a bus system that works that will increase productivity in the island. So when you increase productivity in a location, you need less people to work. But at the same time, the revenue from the government goes down because they profit from the chaos from the carbon taxation. If you fix BPL in the way it should be fixed, where you have solar on the roofs and self-generation, community grids and microgrids, etc., where electricity could go down to sub 20 cents, then the government itself now needs to look for revenue to replace that. All of this required leadership that has the capability of shifting the economy. You talk about education, right? The teachers will be impacted. Why? Because what we're doing now is called Zoom teaching, not digital teaching or virtual teaching, because you should be able to go to a location after the teacher teaches. You should able to go to a location and watch that video anytime you want. So what happens now is that the students don't have to even go back and rewatch it. That doesn't happen. And so what you have is a happenstance individuals. Either you have a high level of incompetence in regards to the 21st century, or you have a deliberate delay of action because the leadership does not have the ability to build an economy that is needed to shift into the 21st century. And that's why we continuously have doing the same thing over and over again when the rest of the world think we are mad, a nation of mad people, as opposed to embracing things. And so until we come to realization of what we need, and I think government that you always advocate is one of those, because even if one local government can become a success, it become a duplicatable type of environment. And that's the last thing our leaderships need. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I already told you, central government won't solve this. You need a decentralized system where municipal government can make these decisions, and we are not heading in that direction. And our leaders don't seem to be interested, and the rest of the public, very few of us seem to be interested for some reason. But hey, that's for another show. We're going to talk a lot more about that over the next few weeks. I can guarantee you this. This text says here, Bay Street was really flooded yesterday. I could barely get home, so it's a good thing the schools are closed. Can't tote children in and out of the car in heavy downpours. This person says here, yeah, we said that already. Dwight, is NASA having rain and winds? We're anticipating. It's expected that we're supposed to see some rain, the rain bands, and possible tropical storm force winds. Possible. This text says here, I think that the Disaster Preparedness Committee should arrange town hall meetings with all constituencies to perhaps gather ideas from the public in regards to hurricane, tsunami, and all natural disaster preparedness. Listening to forecasters, Milton has passed the Category 5 scale. This is a preview of what's to come. Let's prepare now. Yeah. Okay. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
I want everyone to understand and recognize the profoundness that C. Allen spoke to just now. Many of us out here, we are of the mindset that today in this country is a deliberate act or are deliberate acts to keep us exactly where we are. We have intelligent, smart people here to move this country forward, but yet we are pushed to the side and allow the mediocrity in services and persons who say that they represent us is really an embarrassment to the rest of us who want to see this country prosper. You know, he talked about, and you always talk about local government and having a mayor and all, and you know, persons who would represent their communities individually outside of central government. Unless you are well-traveled or have lived in some of these countries that actually have this thing introduced, people would not fully understand or appreciate what we are speaking to. We look as simple as just Florida alone, where each one of their areas they're split up in districts and they have their own mayors and their own local government that governs the daily affairs of their community and actually agitate for the changes that they want to see from their community, from the people are still stuck into this lackadaisical, twilight zone that things are going to change because the people who we select, who apparently enjoy these things being exactly the way how they are not going to change anything. And so it's going to take we, the Bahamian people, those of us who are really cognizant of what is really necessary in this country to bring about the change that we'd like to see. We have to put our party colors aside. We have to put our party affiliations aside. We have to come together as a people and agitate for this change. Because I can tell you, the forces out there who represent these parties, these party pundits, they are not going to change as long as the party indicates or dictates that this is the direction we want to go, and we don't want that. We have to think outside the box. Thanks for taking my call this morning.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This text here, if you judged from the rains yesterday, you would think today would be terrible, but the Met Office knew better. Politicians making that decision, not technocrats. I mean, you'll see. You'll see. I don't think this is going to be a pleasant afternoon, but okay. Another text here. A grand with Milton. There's been heavy traffic in the grocery store since Monday. There's also been water distribution in the western part of the island and also in Marcos City, the Marcos City constituency. After going through Dorian, people are not taking things lightly. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free, 242-300-5720. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
In reference to the storm, I don't know if you remember, but for me, growing up as a child, this is always how it looks just before the storm hits. I don't know if you remember, it always looked nice and calm, a nice pretty day, and then it gets worse. So persons who are trying to make it seem like this is just something that the government pulling a fast one, I don't understand them because that's not so. I remember it being just like this before the storm hit.
But again, hitting is a weird term to use. It's not going to hit, but we are going to see some of the effects of Milton. Yes, rain and an increase in the winds, and but yes, we know that is a phenomenon, the calm before the storm.
Yes, so people need to remember that they're trying to get upset because the government closed the school or the Met Office says something. This has always been the way it was. I was telling my kids this morning, this is always how it was before the storm hits. Always that nice, calm, pretty clear water, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Again, we're expecting the first, and Grand Bahama might be a little bit earlier, the first of the rain bands to start rolling in just afternoon. So 1, 2 o'clock, and then for us, 3, 4 o'clock rain. But overnight, the heaviest rain possibly for New Providence. Okay, more of your text message before we take a break. This person says here, I agree with the last caller. Voter registration should be limited to 4 votes in a lifetime. What? Or when a person retires, they're not eligible to vote. What is I don't think that's what he said. That's not. Let the young people decide on their future. Oh, God. Stop rolling in your 80-year-old great-grandmom and pops to vote. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, good Lord. I hope you are around to send a text like that in 40, 50 years. Tell me if you feel that way still. That's very interesting. Wow. Well, I'm shocked you're saying, why not get rid of all of them, right? Just send them to a key. Yeah. 2 send buttons from saying something like that. Okay. Anyway, Dwight, I listen to people always speak of local government, but the only way that will work if these people are elected in central government have no say on what they do. Okay. I think I know what you're trying to say, but I'm not too sure. You lost me along the way there. Are you saying because they have to say, that's why we won't get it? Or they won't do it because they won't have a say? Which one you were saying? In any event, you're wrong. And if we really want it, they'll do what we want them to do, or they'll get voted out, or maybe even anyway. So if you really want it, you know what to do. Don't vote for people who say they don't want it. Don't vote for people who don't believe it. Don't vote for people who say they believe it, and then you will change your mind. We've already seen who does that. That's both of the major parties. So you know what to do. And you got to tell the people, I will vote for you because you said you're going to do this. But if you don't do this, there will be serious repercussions. And make them understand that. They don't take you seriously. That's why they don't do what they tell you they're going to do when they get in. And we just sit back and say, oh, my gosh, they're not doing what we expected them to do. Oh, boy. For a whole 5 years and put in some other clowns who also won't do what they told you they're going to do. And then you complain for 5 years that they didn't do what they said they were going to do. And then you do the same thing all over again to the same people who lied to you before. So we are the problem. If you really want it, you'll stop doing your foolishness and deal with these people properly. But, hey. Anyway, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
What we've been buying for the last many years are just, things that are outdated. Let's say, in my media, the Doppler 5000. And if you Google Doppler 5000 NBC, that's the news radar that they get. They can zoom in different areas, Hialeah, Miami, and say, it's raining in Hialeah. It's raining in Homestead. It have a radius of 300 miles. You remember doing Hurricane Dorian from Miami? They can zoom in Abaco and see the storm, but we don't buy them. We don't buy it because
I'm not gonna lie to you. Trust me, these forecasts from the Department of Meteorology have been incredibly accurate the past few years. They're getting better and better. There's no reason to doubt what they're telling you. I don't know why you're saying this. You really? Okay. This is exactly what they said is going to happen. What happened over the past few days is exactly what they said was going to happen. The rain from that system that wasn't Milton, that has moved off, and we're in between the two now, right? So there is this lull, but we are expecting, and this is exactly what they're saying, only a 20-30% chance of rain this morning, but that will pick up by this afternoon into the evening. And tropical storm conditions for the northern islands and possible for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence. The increase in the chance of rain, and it might not be consistent across the island at all times rain, but there'd be pockets of heavy showers in areas. Prepare yourselves for that. That's what they're saying. Right? It's not going to be 2 days of continuous rain, but it will be rain and thunderstorms and possible tornadoes. That's what they've been saying. Prepare yourselves for that, right? We know how it goes. It rains for 2 minutes and the whole place is flooded. So make sure you are in a place where you don't mind being stuck for a few hours because the place is flooded. Just keep that in mind. And that means you might not need to be in school or at work. You might want to be in a place where it won't flood. That's all they're saying. Nobody's underselling, and there's no reason to oversell. Just be prepared. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hello, Dwight.
Hi.
A good Doppler burns 1 million watts. Do FPL have the base or the spare?
Okay. Let's take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com, building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Print Masters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Enter to win big at the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, brought to you by the Tourism Development Corporation. Learn from top industry professionals on how to launch, scale, and expand your business, all for free. Sign up today to win big with our special jackpot prizes set to take your business to the next level. It's all happening at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium on October 15th at 5:45 p.m. Don't wait. Sign up today at tdcbahamas.com.
Want to build wealth and secure your financial future? Join RF Bank and Trust and BizX as we team up for World Investor Week from October 7th to 11th. We're bringing you free resources to master investing. Whether you're building a resilient portfolio, navigating ESG investments, or going global with international markets, this is your chance to learn, grow, and take charge of your financial future. Join us and let's build wealth together. Visit RF Bank Trust on Facebook or Instagram to learn more. Don't miss out on this World Investor Week, October 7th to 11th.
Celebrate the ease of opening a new account online with Scotiabank. Follow these 3 steps to access a world of possibilities. Step 1, visit bs.scotiabank.com. Step 2, select an account type to best suit your needs. Step 3, complete the form and open your new Scotiabank account online today.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. With the northern Bahamas under a tropical storm warning as a powerful Hurricane Milton nears Florida's Gulf Coast, business interests in Grand Bahama and Abaco, islands that were devastated by Hurricane Dorian just 5 years ago, they're on the alert, of course. President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, James Carey, said that while people aren't scampering around in Grand Bahama in fear of Hurricane Milton heading directly, near the islands, there is a sense of caution considering that hurricanes can change direction very quickly. Carey said that people have taken some basic preparation just in case. You can read more about that in today's Guardian Business section. The Bahamas and Kuwait are finalizing a civil aviation agreement to enhance air connectivity between both countries, with Kuwait also eager to increase investments in this country. The developments were conclusions reached following a bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Philip Davis and Kuwait's Crown Prince Sabah Al Khalid Al Sabah in September. As summarized in a statement by the Office of the Prime Minister, that statement saying that the meeting, held in commemoration of the 30th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries, emphasized mutual respect and cooperation, and that Prime Minister Davis highlighted the recent appointment of an ambassador, His Excellency Turan Maki, as Bahamian ambassador to Kuwait, and discussed the ongoing study for the redevelopment of Potter's Key, supported by the Kuwait Fund for Economic Development. A central government focus on family islands is hampering ease of doing business. That's according to Executive Director of the Organization for Responsible Governance, Matt Aubrey. Aubrey attended a Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation conclave in Margaritaville, said that there are key issues yet to be dealt with for family islands that have to do with the ease of doing business. He says that each island has unique components where a more centralized model of government is not necessarily giving them the latitude to really build out their potential for economic development. He said, quote, the small businesses that we have seen have a tremendous amount of innovation and resilience, but they're also not empowered through mechanisms that allow them to take an informal business to become formal or a small business to become a mid-sized business. Some have succeeded, but by and large, the vast potential that we have in the Bahamas still remains somewhat untapped. Aubrey says there needs to be continual collaboration between the private sector and the Chamber of Commerce, along with government, to ensure that this untapped potential is exploited. Overseas, the U.S. Department of Justice is considering asking a federal judge to break up Google after its ubiquitous search engine was declared an illegal monopoly. But it is just one of many possible remedies under review, according to a court filing. In court papers filed late Tuesday, potential remedies it may pursue, including restrictions on how Google's artificial intelligence mines other websites to deliver search results, and blocking Google from paying companies like Apple billions of dollars annually to ensure that Google is the default search engine presented to consumers on gadgets like iPhones. Tuesday's filing is the first step in a months-long legal process to come up with remedies that could reshape a company that's long been synonymous with online search. Meanwhile, Google lost its final legal challenge on Tuesday against the European Union penalty for giving its own shopping recommendations an illegal advantage over rivals in search results, ending a long-running antitrust case that came with a whopping fine. The European Union's Court of Justice upheld a lower court's decision, rejecting the company's appeal against the €2.4 billion or $2.7 billion penalty from the European Commission, the 27-nation bloc's top antitrust enforcer. The court said in a press release summarizing the decision that, quote, by today's judgment, the Court of Justice dismisses the appeal and thus upholds the judgment of the General Court. The Commission punished the Silicon Valley giant in 2017 for unfairly directing visitors to its own Google shopping service to the detriment of competitors. It was one of 3 multi-billion euro fines and the Commission imposed on Google in the previous decade as Brussels started ramping up its crackdown on the tech industry. And Boeing has withdrawn a contract offer that would have sent raises over 4 years after the talks have broken down now. The manufacturer said it has boosted its offer for union workers for take-home pay and retirement benefits during 2 days of negotiations. In a prepared statement, Boeing said that the union did not seriously consider the proposals and that the union made non-negotiable demands far in excess of what can be accepted. Boeing said that given that position, further negotiations do not make sense at this point and that they've withdrawn their offer. The union said it surveyed its members after receiving Boeing's most recent offer and that it was rejected overwhelmingly. The union complained last month that Boeing had publicized its latest offer to 33,000 striking workers without first bargaining with union negotiators. The offer was more generous than the one that was overwhelmingly rejected when the workers went on strike September 13th. The first proposal included 25% raises. The union originally demanded 40% over 3 years. Boeing said average annual pay for machinists would rise from $75,608 now to $111,155 at the end of the 4-year contract. The union resembles some of the company's best-selling planes. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday. Your market movers: Commonwealth Bank moving 6,000 shares, closing at $5.04 unchanged. Doctors Hospital moving 100, closing unchanged at $10.50. Consolidated Water down 2 cents, closing at $4.92. Emira Incorporated down 5 cents, closing at $8.84. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,986.67, down 0.07 points. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. We're back here on this, I'm about to call it Wacky Wednesday on Guardian Radio. Morning Blend Business with Dwight Strachan with you. All right, so we're getting some more unusual than before, text messages in response to a call. So I think the texter was talking about 4 votes per lifetime. I think they're being sarcastic. They send a smiley face, and they think this is quite a joke. But they've started off something. Dwight, have you purchased your wheelchair yet? This should be about your last time to vote, eh? There's a totally different texter. Got a lot of comedians out there. Or maybe it's the barrier, was it the pressure from the hurricanes getting to people and they're losing oxygen and talking? Yeah, that's a good one. No, according to that last texter, I think I might have one more vote after the next one. So, okay. Another one, LOL at that texter saying no, geriatric voters. You all think this is funny. It's not funny. I mean, what difference does that make? But that's not it. Some of those folks have more insight and a better vision for the country than people half their age. Definitely, we know this. But, okay. Dwight, I love how Bahamians are trying to make it seem as if this initiative was partisan or political. Did they watch the press conference? Both FNMs and PLP were present. I don't even know how politics gets in this. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. And then, if it were to be this afternoon, terrible rain, people would be like, oh, my God, they should close the schools. Why don't they even care about us? You really can't win. I mean, I know sometimes the folks in government and the politicians deserve what we give them, but sometimes they don't. This is unnecessary. This person says here, that texter that seemingly has an issue with the elderly is grossly misguided and must appreciate the saying, once a man, twice a child. Just keep living, buddy, and you'll see. Yeah, I hope they get it. I think they're joking. I think they were, but the other two, I don't know. But we know we've got a lot of issues in this country. People don't like the older people. They don't like women. They don't like foreigners. They don't like anybody. Do they like themselves? That's what you got to wonder. Dwight, I'm not laughing. I have no votes left. I'm on the porch on life support with my flag and T-shirt. But how old are you? That's the question. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's see if we can end the show on a more positive note. All right. So what are you going to do today? Now that you're home with the kids, because clearly nobody's on the streets. Hopefully you won't be doing nonsense today. No, don't. I can't tell people that. Don't go to the bar. No. But, I mean, what are you going to do? We're going to do something fun? You're going to do something productive? Or everyone's just going to be on their cell phones in the different corners doing their own thing. Yeah? Is that what we're going to do with this day that you have? Let us know. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. 300-5720. This texture here in response to the calls we were getting earlier. I don't know why we're getting those calls. But anyway, while our meteorology department may not have all the newest equipment on the market, they are providing accurate information, and that is who should be guiding us, or that's who we should be guided by. They've not said anything contrary to the international reports. I take comfort in knowing that their report is Bahamas focused as opposed to a 15 or 20 second mention elsewhere. Absolutely. And it's very specific, especially now. They've updated how they report the weather. And it's very specific. Some might say too detailed, but on what to expect in the different regions of the Bahamas. And I'd be willing to bet a few pennies that these forecasts can be pretty accurate based on what we see. And that this afternoon, don't mind any sun out there right now. It's going to be a wet afternoon, evening, and tonight's going to be heavy. And I need to pray that BPL and the other utilities cooperate overnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, so, I wasn't really talking about you, texter, but the texter who often likes to text us issues about concerns about women. He says, Dwight, I'm not sure who doesn't like women, but I love women. We just don't like aggressive women who try to be men or single moms who raise gangsters. Just need to clarify that. Oh, God. Okay. Thank you for that. That's exactly what we thought you were saying. And that's, you just don't like aggressive women and women who are single moms and who raise gangsters. Mr. Producer, I think we should end the show with some rain music. Everybody be safe. Be safe out there today. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. But have a good one. Stay dry. And don't do anything crazy. And let's pray for Florida. We'll enjoy your day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Up above, the sun's in my heart, and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come, I've a smile on my face. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing in the rain.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.